Welcome to the Live Sports Podcast. Welcome to the 90th minute podcast presented by Live Sports.
The
Today
podcast
we're going.
confused again.
I can't hear.
They're getting the podcast confused.
Yeah, true. Like normally we do one at a time, so it's different when like my mind is set for both. I usually record one day, one the next day, one the next day, and one the next day. No, we're doing two back to back. It kind of confusing. So yeah, we're gonna do 90th minutes first, like I said.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a lot to talk about. Surprisingly, being that the season is over. Uh, just a few final season notes.
Surprisingly, ours because you filled us with some funny about stuff.
Repeat that.
Surprisingly, I don't know. I don't think it's surprising. I think you find the most things to talk about when the season is over. The transfer madness. We
Well,
have a
that's the thing.
Euros, we have a Copa. I see that you put Cannibal on the lineup today. Friendlies, rule changes. My God, man.
No,
Sure, we
like
have enough
we
time.
have no, but that's the thing. I would say surprisingly because, like I said, the season end anticlimactic, and based on how everything is
It
happening
ends
in the Euros.
anticlimactic for you.
Come on, that was not an exciting season. Stop it. It
It
was
was an
not an
exciting
exciting
season if
season.
I was a Chelsea fan. A
No,
second Champions League
even all right.
trophy.
Hold on. Did you at the beginning of the
Uh,
season were you even expecting us to aim for the Champions League?
that's why it is a surprising season for me because at the beginning of the season, I was content with making it to a cup final and
And
finishing
then and then
comfortably in top four.
on top of that, the Champions League was kind of boring. Like the season
Kind of boring.
throughout
I
was
don't think
boring.
so. I
Well,
don't think
not
the
this.
Champions League was boring.
Well, of course it was.
Lewandowski breaking Gerd Muller record for like almost 20 odd years he's been standing for.
Yeah, but overall, I'm never gonna do that if I'm just stay at the club.
Let's see. If you're talking about like Lille winning
And
the
even
league
the
in
league,
France,
and even the league on season
right?
wasn't that entertaining.
Atletico playing hot potato with the league, giving both Barca, Madrid the opportunity to win the league if they wanted to.
No, but that's not. It wasn't
Inter winning
exciting. That
Inter
wasn't
winning the
exciting.
Scudetto
That
after
wasn't.
what, 12 years?
That wasn't exciting either. Like I said, if you were to look at the season just based on how it ended, you would say that you would say that
Like, I don't know what, maybe this is your expectations. I don't know what you were expecting, but
it's not the
City fans getting to their
expectations.
first Champions League finals, Chelsea
Again,
winning a Champions League final, that was exciting for those respective fan bases.
I disagree with
I
that.
don't know what were you expecting?
It wasn't an expectation thing. For me, it was that the journey towards the end of the season was boring. Or the entire
What do
season was
you
boring.
mean the journey? What it's a COVID season? What
All
more
right,
did you
hold on.
expect?
All right, so give me a chance to explain. You mentioned La Liga. La Liga was
Yeah.
god. The three top teams were god awful boring for the entire season. We can make it look like based on how it ended, we can make it look like it was an exciting season, but essentially, as you said, it wasn't really hot potato. Everybody was basically fucking up, and basically Atletico made the least amount of mistakes and won that season. It wasn't a season like they were battling it out for the championship. Bullshit. Everybody was fucking up and playing like dog shit, and Atletico, out of the top three teams in La Liga, Atletico were the ones who made the least amount of mistakes and just happened to fall into the title. It wasn't a like exciting title race. And then City were expected to be in that last four of teams. The teams that didn't make it to the Champions League that final that people didn't expect was PSG, because that PSG City clash was expected for the final, not the semi-final. Nobody
Well, I
expected Real
think
Madrid.
I think Bayern would have told you that they were favorites to win the Champions League
No, no,
again.
no, 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 them as well. But it's rare that champions repeat. So I know that some
But
Real
in their
Madrid
case,
fans. No,
in
overall,
their case, It is rare, but I think in Bayern's case, like persons were
No,
saying PSG was favorites for the final, and I didn't agree with that when they sacked Tuchel. I felt if Tuchel was
I
still
still
there, then
felt
yes, they should have
I
been
still
favorites,
felt
but
that afterwards. They
they
had
shouldn't
Mbappe
have
and
gone
Neymar.
past. Yeah, but they shouldn't have gone past Bayern.
I disagree with that.
They got past Bayern because Bayern was lacking a finisher.
No, but you
They
can't. And
scraped past. They got past the tie because of the first leg.
Leon,
They scraped past the tie, and
Leon,
when they came up against City, they got schooled.
Leon. And by the way, they never have everybody versus it. It's not that they have a fully fit, fully ready squad.
Neither did Bayern. Bayern was running on using youngsters in both of those legs. Bayern had more
You
injuries
had
than PSG.
Goretzka, you had
No,
Goretzka,
Goretzka was
Muller, you
out. Goretzka
and
was out. He was out
are
injured.
cool. You had
They
Tolisso.
only had
Look at
Muller
the
and
difference.
Kimmich. Tolisso is not a Goretzka though. Tolisso has performed poorly this season.
Again, you're getting
That's why he's on the bench.
you're getting on some specifics where it not really matter in the situation. What my point is that it wasn't
And
an
the
all
Champions
out,
League matches were they were good
and they
times.
were boring
Yes,
as well. No,
they
it
were boring
wasn't exciting.
too.
No, but it wasn't exciting until the last part. The last part was
But
when
that has always been the Champions League though.
I disagree with that. All right, look at even the
Champions League biggest
2012.
problem is that they've always had the matches only got exciting into the latter rounds, the
I
quarterfinals
disagree with that.
onwards.
I disagree with that because look at even the 2012 final road just for Chelsea. That Barca match was hot. That Napoli match was hot. The finals was hot, and even the other games around those matches, they were top matches as well. You go back to even the Barcelona one, Manchester United versus Real Madrid. Before Barca played Madrid,
I think they kind of had super high expectations, and I think it was just their expectations that were a bit too high, you know.
yeah. So what I'm saying is that the journey to the end felt like boring. Like Chelsea versus Real Madrid, it wasn't a contest.
I mean, it wasn't a contest.
It was not a contest. Come on, stop it.
An unproven Chelsea team with forwards who were
Oh
misfiring
my
for most
god,
of the season.
Leon, it was
This
alright. Leon,
this Chelsea team should not have been in a Champions League final.
I don't disagree with that. What I'm saying, but that's also what I mean by like ending anticlimactic for me, is that none of these teams are playing at their best coming against each other. Real
But
Madrid are going to have.
that's what made it exciting because
I
it's
disagree
not
with that.
like
They
this.
played terrible.
The
It's
only team
all of
that
the
was
big
in
teams
hot
played terrible.
form.
Every team played terrible.
Exactly, and because all the big teams played terrible, it was very unpredictable to which way it would have went.
No, but I disagree with that
There are
because we
two
knew
levels
who
of
was going to win.
unpredictability, you know. No, there's two
It was
levels of
not unpredictable.
unpredictability,
You
you
know
know.
the only thing that was unpredictable in that Man City would have to face PSG in the semi-final. That was the only thing unpredictable.
But everybody knew they were facing each other in the semifinal. That wasn't unpredictable.
It
From
was
you saw the
unpredictable.
draws, everybody no, from you saw the draws, you
No, but
knew
that's what
that
I
City would
mean.
have had to
No,
face
no, no, no,
PSG.
no, no. But that's what I mean. Based on how the table drew them. But if you were to say at the beginning of the season, if you were to say, who do you expect in the Champions League final? There are three teams names you're going to call.
They will tell you
Bayern,
City,
PSG, and Man City. Exactly. The only thing that messed it up was that PSG had to face Man City in the semis. And it's not like it was entertaining on the way there. Porto knocked out a piss poor Juventus team. Chelsea knocked out a Porto team that they were supposed to knock out.
We knock out Real Madrid, that would knock out the champions of Spain too.
Which and again, Atletico and Real Madrid are not playing like you see if they did knock out a Carlo and Ancelotti Madrid or a Mourinho Madrid,
I don't know why
Um,
you're trying to draw comparisons with all of these great
no, what
teams in
I'm
the
no no no
past.
what no what
But
I'm
you're
saying
acting like this
is
is a great Chelsea team. It's not a great Chelsea
no,
team.
I am not saying that it's a great Chelsea
This
team.
is a
What I'm
Chelsea
saying
team going through a transition that fought a Madrid team that's going
that's a
through a
part
transition.
exactly, but that's what I'm saying.
The
It's not
two
like these teams
transitioning
are
teams played each other.
no. That's what but that's my point. It's not like we're getting the best of these teams and then one and then they just slug it out and then with the best of it just lies where it lies. You got the best Guardiola team to beat against in 2012 and you beat them. You got the best Napoli team, arguably. Some people would say sorry team play a bit better, but that Napoli team won a trophy, Coppa Italia. But you got the best of that Napoli team. It wasn't a shit Napoli team playing a good Chelsea team. It was
But
this
again,
is the
Mario,
best of
Mario,
this.
Mario.
This was
What you're not understanding in a Mario is that you're micro analyzing it, but from a pure. If you ask any Chelsea fan, did you expect to win a Champions League this season? They'll tell you no. Was it
no, I'm
exciting
not
for you? Was it exciting for you getting to a Champions League final? They will tell you yes. If you ask any Leicester fan, did you
yeah.
expect to be in a FA Cup final this year? They will tell you no. They say, was your cup run exciting? They're going to tell you yes.
No, but that's because they're fans of the club. I'm looking at it overall. That's why I said the
But that,
overall
but
season was
but it doesn't matter. The
anticlimactic.
overall season doesn't matter because end of the
It
day,
does. It
your
does matter.
excitement, no, your excitement as
Mm.
a fan is based on what your team has done. And if your
And I
team
am
has gone
speaking
ahead,
no, but what I'm talking about is the football season overall, not from just my fan perspective. Which is why I said the football season overall to me was anticlimactic. I'm not speaking about okay, well, I'm a Chelsea fan. Well, this is how Chelsea played, and based on what Chelsea did, and based on what Barca did. No, I'm looking at it from overall. The three Spanish teams, even the two that I want to see play like shit, I don't want them to play that much like shit. I want it to be that Barca, and Madrid and Atletico play it out, and they're the best of themselves, even if they're not perfect. I'm not saying that there needs to be a Guardiola Barca right now, but they didn't even play like they were top European teams. I can use the Luis Enrique Barca as an example. Yes, they won a Champions League, but the 2 years after that, they still played like a European team and got their ass beat. It felt like some teams were just not themselves whatsoever, and it made it slightly anticlimactic. Now, sure, there's specifics like okay, Leicester wins the FA Cup. West Ham gets into the Champions League. Yes, there's one and two things that spark some level of excitement, but the overall season, how it ended, felt like other than Chelsea winning the Champions League, which is the only thing you don't really expect. The team that they faced was one that I expected them to play, and then even going back to that Chelsea thing, the reason why the Champions League final was anticlimactic for me is because I knew Chelsea would win, not because I'm a fan, but because I watched the last two matches that they played against City. Again, we had this conversation before. I asked you, who would you prefer to play in the Champions League finals? PSG or Man City? And at first you said PSG, you would fear more. And I understood why you said that too, because Neymar and Mbappe, too much of a threat for one final. But we both said it. We prefer City in the final. And we're both Chelsea fans. And even if you're not a Chelsea fan, you would see that the best matchup, they got the best matchup. Because again, if you watch the last two performances, it was the best matchup. So those are the reasons why I say it's anticlimactic. So as a Chelsea fan, did I expect them to win the Champions League final the second they drew City? Now, of course, at the beginning of the season, hell no. I never expected Chelsea to win at the beginning of the season. But as the season came to a close, it's almost like, all right, this was the best matchup for Chelsea. Right now, Wales is still nil out with Albania. Albania is playing well.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. Thanks for that
I,
heads up.
I didn't want you to bring it up either. I didn't want you to bring it up. That's why I just went to the Wales
I
thing.
literally, I literally, I
Just that's
literally,
just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. That's specifically why I texted you and then just went to the Wales thing because I know why for just let's go. Let's continue. But yeah, it just felt anticlimactic for me personally because when I look at the season as a overall, not even just my team, just overall, we didn't get the clash of the Milan clubs because AC Milan got so much injuries coming towards the end, they could not compete with Inter simply because they couldn't put out a proper team on the field. Juventus were god awful. They ended up playing a 4-4-2 formation just to squeeze out whatever at the end of the season. Napoli can't defend to save them life. And their attacking football based on how Gattuso set them up. Yeah, they're still exciting to watch. But Lazio was a disappointment this season. Even if you're not going to compete for the title, they played less than they were. It's like
and
that's what I,
I had Napoli as a, I'm sorry, Lazio as a title challenger for this season based on how they played in.
and their games were still exciting to watch because they were 5-5 and those type of score
Yeah,
lines.
like I said, based
Atalanta
on the
was late.
previous season, I had
Exactly.
them done as a title challenger.
I had
I had
Milan.
them as an outside favorites
Exactly.
to maybe to spring a surprise on them, but
And
they
I
didn't
don't
live up
disagree
to
with
that.
that. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. So nobody played to their strengths. Nobody got a chance to show themselves. It felt like we just this season felt like all right. This it was almost like just let's get it over. It was almost like let's just get past this. It was a good season, yeah, but it never felt like it never felt like you watched
Yeah.
the best quality football all year. There were certain moments and matches where you said, "Whoa, yes." There were certain matches that were definitely entertaining. But as an overall, if I just look at overall all of the leagues this year, Benfica and Porto did not challenge Sporting for the title all the way. By midway through the season, most people realized that Sporting were heading away.
Yeah.
So that wasn't even the Portuguese league wasn't even that exciting either. The Era de Visa wasn't that exciting. There were some youngsters that showed themselves, but the Era de Visa wasn't that really exciting either. Ajax win again. They weren't really challenged this year. Eindhoven I go through a
So,
transition as well. Feyenoord I go
so
through a
let me talk.
transition.
Well, but let's get on to more, important matters. Inzaghi is at Inter. Allegri is going back to Juve.
Mm-hmm.
Those days are Roma.
Yeah.
Conte tells Spurs to fuck off. So the one excitement that I could have looked at for a manager to have an implosion, Conte decides that he's not going to Spurs. I
Yeah,
don't know
because he was
why he would even
because he
consider
was
Spurs in
waiting
the
on
first place,
the
anyways.
reason why he left Inter is because they were threatening to sell his players and he thought he was going to get the Madrid job.
Yeah, but it's not about threatening to sell his players. They had to sell. It's not like Inter wants to sell, but they have to raise money. They don't have money. The club is in a bad financial state. Syria overall is in bad financial state. So the club has to raise money. And even though they're not selling Lukaku, that's what they say. But we know how things work in football. The club has to
You're
raise
really
money.
wanting Lukaku to come back to Chelsea, so I kinda
Hey,
kinda
hey,
I kinda
hey.
hold more.
We've heard players come out and say, "Oh, we're not. I'm not going anywhere." And 2 weeks later, them walk up, them turn up at the next club. So we know how this thing works. But at this moment, Lukaku says he's not leaving Inter Milan. So they're
And
keeping
trust me, they have they
Lukaku.
have players they have players in and around the squad they can get.
They're selling Hakimi for 80 million. Both PSG and Chelsea are in for him. I don't know why, but anyways. So, them trying to reduce the
I would love
wage bill.
Hakimi at Chelsea. I've told you that before.
Well, Yeah, I know you're telling, but Menanda's like, maybe this is the point of bringing me in when we already have reached James, who's the starting future
for
right back.
competition.
Yeah, but you know, we can groom Liveramento from Academy Player of the Year as to, you know, so it's
Yeah,
funny
but
that like the last
I'm
six,
talking immediate
sorry, like
competition.
the last six players was won the Chelsea Academy of the Year has gone on to become either a first team starter for Chelsea or they are well Tomori. Tomori is the only one who's actually out at um they're at AC Milan now, but he's a starter for Milan. So
And
all
that no,
players
and
was
that might
one.
not. And in all fairness, I don't want to oversell tomorrow's Milan spell like people
No,
do.
no, no. We know that um they had injuries that Romagnoli started to
Exactly.
underperform. But he stepped in and he
None of
did
their
the job
defenders
well.
underperform. No, Roman really didn't underperform.
No, I think he had a little dip in form, a little dip, just a little dip in form.
I would say
Injuries and
that
a dip in form played in his and in him getting his first start, and he nailed down a position and he went on and he did well for himself. AC Milan decided to buy him for 28 million. Um but overall I think like I understood why Ancelotti is back at Madrid. I think I think Ancelotti style of management is best suited to Madrid right now. I think Zidane had the right idea, and I think Zidane's idea should have been the one that Madrid went with. Like got the squad, get the old guard out and work with the youngsters. But I think Ancelotti's style would be a lot. I think Ancelotti will get the most out of the squad in terms of getting players like Bale to perform well. Um, we'll see if Hazard's fitness holds up. But, you know, I wouldn't like. I don't know. Like I understood why he left Everton, but I think I remember we said that Ancelotti went to Everton to see if he could do it again, and now a big club in Madrid has decided to come back for his services. So let's let's see if I can, hack it again. And Barca is
I was actually
confirming,
going to recommend this for Jurgen Low.
yeah, Lowe has
Not
stated
the
that he's
Madrid
not.
job, not the Madrid job, but like it's like how Ancelotti went to a small club before a big club.
Yeah,
If Schalke did survive relegation, I would want Low to
yeah.
take that job. I would have wanted Jurgen Low after he left the Germany job to take that job.
I think he just
If they
wants a
had
break
stayed
from
up.
football. I think the pressure, the German hot
No, I'm not
seat
saying
is no, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that I don't think he's really taking a club position anytime soon. He's been the manager since what 2008, I think, and World Cup, two World Cups, what 4 Euros, like, and then this Euros. No, I think it's a very and like half of the public has been calling for his head for the longest while, basically. And I can understand why, because he phased out some of the old guards.
which you're
He
supposed to
went to
do.
the new. Yes, he should have. But you see, that the problem that I had with Lowe, and this is what made me very upset with him, was you took a very young squad to the Confederations Cup and won.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Why did you decide that you were going to go ahead and bring how about the experienced guys for the World Cup? You should have still went ahead with that young squad.
Because that young squad wouldn't win the World Cup.
Yeah, but I neither would have that experienced team.
And the thing
And I
about the
also
squad,
felt
and
that,
what I'm not,
go ahead.
the squad that you brought to the Confederations Cup is a bit different. It's not just your under. It wasn't just your under 23s. It was guys who cannot make the German squad as well.
I don't
It
believe
was
that.
guy
We
Lars of
brought we brought
I can give you three names off the top of my head right now who
yeah, other than
wouldn't have
okay,
made a
Lars
national
Stindl
side.
wouldn't have made the national squad. Yes,
Sandro
I understand
Wagner,
that. Yes,
I mean,
Wagner would not
Younes.
have.
They were the three
Actually,
main
no,
guys.
Wanga would have actually made it because Wanga was playing for Bayern and he's a goal scorer, which is Germany. Germany's problem right now is that we have not replaced Mario Gomez, we have not replaced Miroslav Klose.
Well, like I said,
Throughout our generations, we have not replaced our clinical striker for the national team.
well, like I said, I think that most of those
And
guys who played for,
Wagner at the time was a more reliable goal scorer than Werner because he was using Werner as a left winger instead of a striker.
like I
But I
said,
think
that
the
Confederations Cup
only like
squad was. Look at
yeah,
Lars
but all right, let's say
Bender was
okay,
in the squad.
yeah, but Bender has been in and out of the national team. It's not like
I'm not
he's
talking
been a
Savannah.
stranger
I'm not
to it.
talking Savannah. I'm talking
Yes, Lars,
Lars
both
Savannah.
brothers have been in and out of the squad. They'd be called up for a couple matches, then dropped again. So they were
Exactly.
always both of them were in and out of the squad, but it's not like they
But
were bad performers. It's just
no,
that
but
at
that's
the
my point.
time, were
But
you
that's kind of my
calling them
point.
over Kedira? Where would you have called them over
No, but that's my
um
point.
like who
Exactly. You're making my
Schweinsteiger, these
exact point.
guys?
But you're making
Yeah,
my
but
exact point.
if you are dropping the old guard, right? If you're dropping the old guard, like, let's look at if you're dropping the old guard, why would you not have gone with? Because at the time we had Weigl, we had Julian Jackson was the captain of that team. You had Brand, you had Gnabry, you had Werner, you had Goretzka. You were
Werner
still
wasn't part of that
calling.
Confed club. That
He
Werner
was, he
wasn't
was, he
part of
was,
that
he
con.
was. Yes,
He wasn't.
he was, he was. He played on the
Werner wasn't
left.
a part of that. Werner was not
He
part of that
was.
Confederate Cup squad.
I'm not. I'm telling you, he was. Anytime he was a part, he was. He played on the left.
I do not remember Werner being
Werner
a
has a
part of that guy.
Confederations Cup medal. He played. Werner played on the left. He was Werner. Werner's been a part of the national team before the Confederations Cup came around, but he was playing him as a left winger. He wasn't using him down the middle. And in the World Cup was the same thing again. Left wing, not down the middle.
I
So
remember
he
Sting the
said that
Jonas and Wagner.
yeah, no, Stindl and Jones. Stindl played in midfield, and Jones and Stindl sometimes played striker, and Werner was on the left of him. I'm guaranteed it worked sometimes. Sometimes it worked. Sometimes. But the problem I had was you groomed this young squad, right? And then you dropped half of these guys and went with the experienced guys. No, yeah, yeah, Stindl shouldn't have been in the squad. Yeah, Wagner probably
I
not.
wouldn't say Sting shouldn't have been in the squad. You see, Sting, it's not that Sting shouldn't have been in the squad.
No, they had better
Um,
options at the
no, what I'm
time.
saying is, no, what I'm saying is, what I am saying is that the players like Stindl, players like Sebastian Ruddy, none of them lived up to necessarily their potential. I mean, Younes
That's
didn't necessarily
true,
live
and
up
I
to
will not deny
potential.
that. But if you look at it,
And
I
it's not
don't.
that they're bad. Hold on, hold
We
on, no.
didn't
It's
bring
not that
proof.
they're and it's not that they're bad players, And it's not that they're bad players overall. I'm saying these aren't guys who are going to get you to a World Cup.
I understand that. I totally understand that, Mario.
Remember,
But just like how
you
in
had Platinart.
2010, yeah, but just like how in 2010, we brought a super young squad that was
No,
not
but
expected to get to
I I
the
disagree with that.
the World Cup. That we were not. We were expected to go far, but a World Cup semi-final was not on the cards for that squad, especially with the injuries that we went into that tournament with.
No,
Because you
but
should remember, we went into that tournament with a injured Ozil, an injured Schweinsteiger, and there was another key player that was injured as well.
yeah, but those talents were not. Um,
Yeah,
those
but I'm
talents
saying
were much better than Sebastian
we had
Rudi
a
and
brand.
Demrabai.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the Ruddies and those guys.
But
I'm
those were
talking
starters in
about
your
the
squad. Those were
core,
starters in your squad.
the core of that Confederations Cup team was Goetza, um, Goetza, Brandt, Draxler,
Gotcha wasn't a
Goretzka,
part of the team.
Werner. I think you didn't he not get called up?
No.
I think he
The
did go
starting
far.
11, the starting 11 was Werner, Stindl, Draxler, Hector, Roddy, Goretzka, Kimmich, Ginter, Mustafi, and Rudiger. Ter Stegen in goal. That's his starting 11. Your bench was Plattenhardt, Hendricks, Wagner, Demirbay, Bernd Leno, Christian Trapp, Amin Younes,
Okay,
Emre
so we
Can,
didn't bring, yeah, we didn't bring.
Nicolas Sule, and Julian Brandt.
Yes, I think this was Goretzka's injury years. Yes, he was injured. Rice was also injured. But all right, Sule potential.
At the time, potential world class player.
All
Because
right,
that's what we were
thank you.
seeing from him coming
Ginter.
out
All right,
of thing
Hector
there.
was already Hector Mustafi were already veterans from the World Cup. All right,
Yeah.
Ginter, Benjamin Hendricks, potential player. Draxler
I
was
don't
the
think
captain
Hector
at the
made the
time.
World Cup squad, but right after the World Cup, he started to play
Yeah, but
because he
Hector
had
was
how it
a great
is.
servant for the national team. Yes, yes, yeah, Hector came in for a week. Already is retired from international football. Right, Ginter, this is your boy from long time, long time.
Yeah,
Where me want and can't
Leverkusen,
get.
Leverkusen, then to Dortmund, then to Gladbach.
Exactly, me want and can't get.
And he played for another
Ginter,
squad too. Was it Frankfurt or one of them? Early,
one of
early,
them
early,
boys there.
early, early, early,
Yeah,
early. It's
right?
either Frankfurt or Freiburg. One of them.
Exactly, but Ginter, potential world class center
World
back,
class at the time. Yeah.
fulfilling potential right now,
Yeah.
right? Mustafi was a great center back, World Cup winning center back for us back
Damn,
then,
damn
right?
good at the time.
Goretzka,
One of the best.
one of
At
the
the time
best
was one of the
defend.
best in
I
La Liga.
exactly,
At
exactly.
Valencia at the time. One of the top
Okay,
five
Plattenhardt,
centre backs.
yeah, Plattenhardt, I'll give you, was just an average player, but we never
Just a
have much
good player.
left
It was just
backs,
a good player. It was just a good player.
right?
But as you said, no
Benjamin
left back
Henrik,
options.
great potential, had great potential.
Still a good player. Just still
Draxler,
overall good player.
captain, great potential, was on the cups of becoming a world class player. Right, he was performing world class in the Bundesliga, and he was right below that level of ascending to say, yeah, I am announcing myself as the next great German midfielder. Goretzka,
But by
another
that time,
one.
wasn't he? By that time, wasn't he already at PSG?
Yes, he was already at PSG.
Like first year of PSG or something like that.
Yet first year at PSG. Right? Then we had Goretzka, another one who's on the cups of saying, yeah, great potential, right? Sergio Wagner was just a veteran footballer.
Who that?
Wagner was a veteran of the game.
Wagner?
He's been in the Bundesliga, yes, Sandro Wagner.
I wouldn't say he's a
Was just a
veteran.
veteran. No,
He was young at the time.
in
He was
terms of the
26.
squad. He was 29 at the time. Let's talk about
He was
26.
26 at the time.
29.
I'm
At the
sure
time,
because
he was 29, sir.
I think he was around 26 at the time. Because
Nope,
he's
I
younger than
just checked
actually
his
people.
age. I checked his age. He was 29 at the time. Karim Demberby. He's always been a hot and cold player, but at the time, he was considered a good potential, but very good player. It's hard for me
Yes.
to classify him, but Werner, Germany's hope as another great striker. Bernd Leno, should I say anything else? Lars
Yeah,
Stindl,
but
another veteran of the Bundesliga, very good player in the Bundesliga. He was captain at Mönchengladbach at the time.
still
You know
captain.
him best. He's still captain. Emir Khan, very good player, great midfielder. Amin Younes, okay, 50-50. We don't know how to classify Younes.
Same way you classify Steam.
Rudiger, potentially was a great defender, had great seasons at Roma. Like, come on, you know. Nicolas Sule, another one, great potential. Well, I got another centre back seen in Germany that could go on to become another great potential world class centre back to replace Hummels and Boateng at the heart of the defense. Right? Joshua Kimmich, world class since he came on the scene. He has only given world class performances. Julian Brandt, another one considered to be one of another great futures of the German national team, potentially world class player. Sebastian Rudy, a great experienced professional. That's what really was. And Thursday again, the best keeper, or the second best keeper in
Was the best keeper in the
was
world
was
at the time.
yeah, okay. So in
Remember,
this, when you look at this squad, right?
Neuer's form wasn't hot that time. At the time,
Yes,
Neuer's
no,
form wasn't hot.
exactly. But I would still say De Gea was probably would have been the better keeper at this point in time.
I would say better shot stopper, not necessarily overall goalkeeper. But there could not be passed by just shooting at it.
Exactly. So, but we know Ter Stegen's ability from when he was at Mönchengladbach was year captain at Mönchengladbach
Yep.
until he went to Barca.
Barca.
So the
Cheap for
core of
12
this
million.
squad, right? Yeah, exactly. I don't know how close make him go for so cheap, but anyways, the core of this squad, right, would have been Werner, Kahn, Rudiger, Sule, Kimmich, Brandt, Ter Stegen, Goretzka, Draxler, Inter. At the time, Henrik should have been so, Mustafi, right? But when you look at this, those players, these are like considered future, like you put them to the oh yeah, we must forget Leroy Sané had to withdraw because of injury. Because Sané was supposed to be a part of this squad. So all of these players were players that you were considered to was the future of the national team. You then dropped most of these players and then brought up the old guard from the 2014 World Cup and say, yeah, we're going into the World Cup with that Hummels and Boateng, who was aging, right? You went in with a midfield that was also aging. And like the only biggest controversial decision at the time was Sane being dropped from the squad. And you explained why. You said you had one spot was between Sane and Brandt. And Brandt was scoring goals for the national team. He was creating chance the national team, but Sane was not really doing anything for the national team at that point in time. So you went with Sane. You went with Brandt. And it's funny, like you you chose Brandt and in
Speed it up,
every
speed it up, speed it
substitute,
up, speed it up, speed
yeah,
it up.
in every
Keep on calling.
substitute appearance in the World Cup, he performed well, but he never started. So from that point in time, Georgie Lowe has been under tremendous pressure, right? So you flopped massively in the World Cup, being exit at the group stage. The Euros was disappointing. The Euros exit was very disappointing for us. So, and then the Nation League collapsed, and then the 7-0 trumping by Spain, even most recently. He's been under tremendous pressure. And a lot of voices inside Germany has been calling for his head. So I don't believe he would have taken another managerial position because a lot of persons would have was sounding him out take take over another club. But I don't think we're gonna see him anytime soon in any club football role. I
Alex,
don't believe that.
I thought if Schalke, being that Schalke is still a club with history, and it wouldn't
If
have
there's
been a
any
hard job
club
for him.
I would have seen him gone to, I think it would have been Leipzig to replace Nagelsmann.
No, that's you see the reason why I didn't use a top four club is because it would be too much pressure immediately. Based on all the way you just explained, it would have been
Mm-hmm.
too. That's why I never use a top four club. That's why I said all. If Schalke just stayed safe, he could have built up because they have some good youngs. They had some good youngsters in that squad, despite being relegated. I think if they had stayed safe, that would have been the best job for him. Same way because and that's why because I was trying to rate this Carlo Ancelotti, where
Mm-hmm.
Ancelotti went to Napoli and was a disappointment. He didn't do well for the national team either, which made Mancini come back to the national team. So
Yeah.
Ancelotti wasn't in great places in people's mind either. Same thing for Mourinho when he got fired from United. I thought he took the
Mm-hmm.
Tottenham job to just see if he knows how to manage or can still manage in the modern day.
Yeah, again, I understand that, but I think, like I said, I think he saw the opportunity to get back his name out there, to get some spotlight back on his name.
That's the
And I
same thing as
think
I said for
Madrid, I
Ancelotti.
think Madrid, Yeah, I think Madrid is a good move for him. I think what I really feel is that I think Jose found his best match in Roma.
I don't 100% agree with that. I don't 100% agree with that.
Why? I think Roma is a very good
Jose,
match for Jose. In terms of how Jose wants to play and how Jose wants his players to behave, I think Roma is a good match for him.
I highly disagree with that because trust me, this Roma squad isn't. It's not a lack of talent that they have, but I still don't think they fit Jose's playing style necessarily.
You say what is the attitude, a lack of mental strength and fortitude?
I wouldn't say that. I think that comes with believing in your manager. I thought the Roma players gave Paulo Fonseca everything and just couldn't get them there.
They just
No
don't have
matter
any more to
which
give.
yeah, like no matter which formation you would put them in, yeah, they would play well, but I don't think you could get the most out of the players.
Okay, understandable.
Because like I said, it's not that
But I
this team
think
don't have talent on it. It's not like this Roma team didn't have
you know
talent on
it's funny. I think if Jose never signed with Roma, I think Inter would have probably taken him back.
it. They would.
He's seen as a god in there, Funny, Jose is revered at Porto.
I would say as a matter of fact, I would say Simeone is the one that Roma should have taken if you're just talking about the squad fit. Because there's a lot of things that Jose is going to have to trim about the squad. Because
I think he'll be more happy in Italy.
he will, because his playing
And
style
Roma is not
fits there.
it's not a bad club for him to go to at this time. I think, yeah, I know from you as a Roma fan, I think your best place to speak about the issues with the squad and the issues that Jose has to face.
The issue is
But I
squad
do feel
organization, you know. The issue is squad
I do
organization
feel
and having
I
some
think
form
if you
of
give Jose reign,
no.
like if you
He's
give
winning
him
the Syria next
control,
year now. He's winning the Syria next year.
yeah, like that's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think he can take Roma right to the top because you've always been there or thereabout for so
He's the
many
only
seasons now.
no,
You've
but
always been
Jose is the reason why. But Jose is the reason why Roma doesn't have any trophies since 2006. Remember, Jose beat us by 1 point on the last day of the season,
yeah.
and then beat us in the
Like I
Coppa
said,
Italia.
Roma has always been there or thereabouts. There's always either been, oh, we're in the Champions League, or we have a league challenge, and then them just collapse midway through the season and pick up back again. And that midway collapse, see them drop out of the Champions League, maybe drop out of the Coppa Italia, and then maybe lose ground and the league leaders in Serie A.
I wouldn't say that.
And then pick up back form again.
I wouldn't say it's like that. I would say it's losing to teams you're not supposed to lose to, beating teams you're supposed to beat,
too.
and then just drawing matches.
But wasn't that like an issue that you had this season though, where you collapsed against teams that you probably should have gotten points off of?
I would say that's historically Roma. I wouldn't say that that's just this season. I think this season it affected us more because we didn't finish in a Champions League place. Usually we fuck up against small teams and still manage to make it into the Champions League.
Yeah, but I think this is the most competitive Serie has been in a very long time because.
And I would say this is the
being
least.
Honest,
and I would say this is the least talented Roma
yes,
squad.
it's least yes, that is true. But I think in terms of like overall depth of Serie A, Napoli, like the teams that finished in the Champions League positions, bar Juventus, because I don't think they should have been there. The teams that are in the Champions League position deserves to be in the Champions League position.
I'm not saying no to that, but I'm saying it's not like there was much of a challenge. Lazio didn't.
No. I'm saying like
Roma didn't play like themselves.
Other than previous years.
No, but even in previous
years,
in previous years, they've always been teams.
Atalanta wasn't that big of a challenge.
No, but what I'm saying is how Atalanta is performing now is how Sampdoria was performing before. So there's always been a team that stepped up that throughout all of the years in Syria who made Syria more interesting. When Napoli and Juventus were going for the title, Lazio was playing like absolute dog shit, but Sampdoria were the next Roman team challenging.
Mhm.
And then at the time, yeah, and then you have to remember, look at Bernadeschi's year at Fiorentina.
Yes, true. Yeah,
Fiorentina was playing
that.
when you had Bernadeschi, Kalinic, and Ilicic.
Mhm.
Um, they were what Atalanta is doing now was what Fiorentina was doing before. What Lazio did against Juventus was what Sampdoria did for a while. So there've always been teams that pop up for a little while and then drop back down, and pop up for a little while and drop back down. And we've seen
I
Atalanta
think,
maybe go through that as well.
and I think another thing that we're here while we're still in Serie A, Allegri is going back to Juve, and Juve's sporting director, their longtime sporting director, he's signing with Tottenham. I think that's a good move for Tottenham because this guy is very good at spotting good talent. So a good director of football would be good for Tottenham overall, but
But Tottenham has
not
never had a
about them right
problem
now.
with finding talent. As a matter of fact, I would say that Tottenham has
No, I
found.
think no, as in not like in scouting, but someone to properly manage the footballing side of things. Because Levy has done well managing both the business and the footballing side of things. But you could have always looked at Tottenham and said that there's there's suffering, there's a deficiency on one side. And that's what you get when you have one person controlling both sides of the coin, if you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying.
Like
So there's an
under
imbalance in how they operate.
exactly like under Pochettino, they had that time where if they were more focused, they had someone who could focus on the squad building. They could have gone on to probably get a trophy, probably. But they're perennial battlers, so they're not getting none anyway. But the squad did not push on. And then there were times when they were at their best, where they were adding players into the squad, but they weren't focusing on the commercial side of things. Where they felt that they could have capitalized on where the squad was to maybe get some better commercial deals in place or to get some more sponsorship money to like to keep the momentum going. So they've always had these deficiencies, and I think the best signing for Tottenham is Juve's director of football, and because it's been a long time, he's been in the game for decades, and he knows what it takes to run a proper footballing club. Not this Juventus. No, I'm talking Juventus. Conte's first stint, Allegri's first stint
And
at
again,
Juve because Allegri's
This
going back
Juventus
to
team does not
Juventus.
lack talent. It does not lack talent. What nobody
No, it
wants to
doesn't lack
admit.
talent. What it lacks is that by adding CR7, and don't get me wrong, he's one of the best players to put on a shirt and to touch the pitch. But adding CR7 completely destroyed the squad.
Exactly. And that's the
He
thing that
destroyed
people
the
don't want
squad.
to admit.
Point blank. He
That's
he turned a squad that was perfectly balanced into an imbalanced squad.
exactly.
And it's only imbalanced because if
He's not
CR7
who he used
accepts
to
that
be.
here what?
He's not who he used to
Just
be.
get me the ball in the box and let me finish.
He's doing that
Just
for
get me the
Portugal
ball
now.
in the box and get me finished.
I
That's
would
what he does for
I
Portugal.
actually have to give him credit because he's
No, like
actually
it finally driving in head now that you are a finisher. Just make your
just
teammates
a
do all the
pure number.
hard work.
Yeah,
Make your teammates them do all of the hard work. And you just sit down on the 18-yard box and finish. Because guess what? There's nobody in world football that can match you in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net.
that's it.
Other than Lionel. But even putting Lionel aside,
There's nobody else.
CR7 gives you your perfect
Maybe
number nine.
Lewandowski. Maybe Lewandowski.
Yeah, exactly. You cross the ball, you know who's going to get it. That power in the box, the ability to get off a shot out of absolutely nothing, the ability to still beat defenders in the box in tight areas. Like them already can't push you off the ball because you're strong as hell.
Because he has the
So
body of a number nine. Or at least body of a target, man, whichever you want to call it. All right, so any other managerial changes you want to talk about?
um, like the grumblings are that Pochettino wants to leave PSG.
No, but that's the thing. The
Um,
Madrid job is gone now. The Madrid job is gone.
no, I think it's the Spurs job he's being touted for.
It was actually both. It was actually both. Remember, Madrid is his dream job, because he hates Barca.
Mm-hmm.
PSG was another dream job because he used to play for PSG. If Espanyol was worth it, well, he already coached Espanyol when they were worth a shit.
You know who I think Tottenham to get as a manager?
Right.
Eddie Howe. Because Sarri is going to Lazio. Sarri is negotiating with Lazio. And I think Eddie Howe
I
would
thought they
do
were
good
getting
at
Spalletti.
Tottenham.
I thought they were getting Spalletti.
Well, the new rumblings are Sarri is
I
being
thought
like the
Sarri was
person
going
being
to
touted.
Tottenham because the last time I checked, it was Sarri to Tottenham was an option. Then Pochettino came out and said if you're gonna get the Madrid job or the not come out and say sorry, but the rumblings were that Pochettino would leave PSG if Tottenham or Real Madrid. The Madrid name was called at the time. This was before Ancelotti got signed. That Madrid and for either Madrid or Tottenham he would leave PSG.
Yeah,
Um,
like I said, the new rumblings is that Sarri is close to appointing, Lazio is close to appointing Sarri
oh,
as their new manager.
the favorite coming out of the season was Spalletti for that Lazio
Yes,
job.
favorite was yes, but Sarri has
And
leaked
by
out
God,
and
Argentina hire Sarri. My God, what?
yeah, but Sarri is going to Lazio, so
No, I'm saying before this, you had more than enough time to get him to come to Argentina. You had a year. Scaloni
like
is not the damn answer. Scaloni is not the answer. He's not the answer. He's doing well. He's doing okay, but it's not the answer.
like a very reputable source, Gianluca Di Marzio, for like Italian football overall. His son came out and said that Sarri is already the coach of Lazio.
Like I said,
It's just that
it's
they've
not a
agreed salary and
surprise.
stuff,
It's not really a
and he
surprise to
wants
me.
to sign. He wants back Insigne. He wants Insigne from Napoli as
You
one of
can't
his
get Insigne from
signings,
Napoli. You cannot get Insigne from Napoli.
saying that Insigne is his protege.
Insigne is a Naples-born native, and it's not his proto goddamn G. Insigne was already playing well before he got here. Don't forget
Yeah,
that
because
Insigne
Insigne
was
is
a
another
starting.
level.
Yes, Insigne was a
Yes,
starting left
but
winger when they
Insigne
won
was
the
like
Copa
scoring
Italia.
like 5 goals and 6
Yeah, but
assists.
he was still
Sorry,
playing at a
took
world
him.
class level.
Sorry, yeah. Sorry, he was playing at a world class level, but sorry
And the
made him a
playing
world
side,
class
no,
player.
no, no. I don't. I disagree with that because here's the thing. He was already playing well in the Rafa Benitez system. The problem is Rafa Benitez system does not get the most out of attackers. It's a defense-minded system. Sorry, Sarri just got more out of Insigne. But I don't want to say Sorry made Insigne. That would be bullshit. Because
I wouldn't say
even
made it, but he put him on the world stage in world football as yo. I am a world class winger. Just like how he made Mertens into a world class false nine.
I don't disagree with
You
that,
should
but
remember
he
that
said
all
made
of
them
these
into.
players,
But
no,
these
I'm
guys
not
were playing.
talking as in, I'm not talking, all right. He polished the diamonds there.
I would say him
He
just put them in a
polished the
system that
diamonds.
I would say he put them in a system that got the most out of their skills, which is what Rafa did not do.
No, because even when that front three went off with the national teams, even right before they were playing under Sarri, they were still not putting out the numbers. Their numbers were still mediocre. Their
For the
numbers were
same
still
reason.
average.
It's
Yeah,
for the
but
same
when
reason.
Sarri came in, right, and they started to work with Sarri, then all three of them, their numbers increased not only for club but for national team as well.
No, but that's the thing, Leon. That's the
Mertens
thing.
cemented himself as a starter for Belgium when he wasn't a starter before.
Yeah, but what you're not getting is that one, the Belgium national team's front three was untouchable before Roberto
And
Martinez came
then and under Sarri, Mertens broke into that attack and he
in.
made himself a starter.
No, Leon. You're forgetting one piece of the puzzle. you're forgetting the two pieces of the puzzle that caused that. Roberto Martinez did not coach the team the same way as the previous manager. And the second thing is, which goes back to even the Sarri thing. It's not that Sarri made these guys; he put them in a system that got most out of their abilities. Same thing for Roberto Martinez. Um, what was Belgium lacking? Creativity and width, and they shouldn't have been lacking creativity and width. With the type
Not the
of players they
creative
had.
players that they had.
They had De Bruyne playing on the right wing, Hazard on the left, Lukaku through the middle, and then a bunch of box-to-box midfielders in midfield. Steven Defour, Dembele, and whether it was Witsel or Fellaini. And then you take out Witsel or Fellaini or Dembele, Nayangola, box-to-box. Granted, these guys have some creativity to them, but they're not Kevin De Bruyne
Not to
in
cut you,
midfield.
but some breaking news for you.
Yeah.
Wendy is going to Aston Villa, 35 million.
Wendia?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect transfer. Perfect transfer.
Aston Villa.
Yeah, tell
Arsenal,
them to take care. Oh,
he
tell
wanted
Aston.
to go to Arsenal, but Arsenal as usual, playing around, and Aston Villa come in, throw 35 million on the table and say,
I don't think an Arsenal move is ready for. And
he
he's
wanted to
old
go to
enough. He's
Arsenal.
not.
Arsenal wanted him.
No, but I'm saying that's still it wouldn't have helped him. In all
So
fairness,
he's going to Aston Villa. Good move, bad move,
I prefer that move than the Arsenal move. I think the Arsenal
better
move
move.
is too much of a step up for him immediately. Bundy has only
You sure?
proven himself.
You
He's
sure?
only
Because Aston Villa, Aston Villa to me is a better squad than Arsenal right now. You know?
at the moment, but what I'm saying is talent-wise, no. I think people aren't getting the most out of Arsenal's players. Granted, they still need players to come in and certify the squad. But I think that Arsenal have been having a bad transition. Remember, Chelsea had a very bad year when we finished 10th.
Yeah,
And
but
what?
that was more on the players throwing Josie under the bus than anything else.
No, true. But also, yeah, but also, it was an overall bad year. And when Conte came in the following season, we saw more out of these players. And I've always said, I said this with Lampard, when Chelsea hired Lampard. Cool, you hire a manager, you hire a manager and put him in charge of a young team. But you also know that you have a young manager, right? Which means that being that you have a young manager, are you going to develop the manager as well? Because unless you give a young manager an absolutely world-class squad, he's not going to do shit. Guardiola, despite how young he was, got a world-class squad. Even if he got to fire Ronaldinho and Deco and Eto'o, who are still playing at Champions League level, and still replace them with world-class players. He got to hire and fire Zlatan. That's an unlimited source of world-class players. Zidane came in, he got Ancelotti's squad and still could have trimmed the fat. I don't want James. Fuck James.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a bit different. When you bring a young manager with a young squad, you can't expect them to finish in the Champions League. Because the manager has to grow along with the players having to grow. So unless you're going to give a young manager this hot world-class squad immediately out of the gates, like you still kind of the manager has to develop as well as a manager.
Which is why Lampard was fired from his Chelsea job.
Which is why I'm proud of Nagelsmann. Nagelsmann, right after that great Hoffenheim season, where he developed players like Sebastian Rudi to get a Bayern move, Demrabai to get a Leverkusen move, Amini to get a Leverkusen move. Rebic was in that team for Nagelsmann. Rebic was one of his strikers in the strike partnership. Sandro Wagner made the German national team because of Nagelsmann's system. He was the one who got the most out of Sandro Wagner. Look at the age. You said Sandro Wagner made the team at 29. I thought it was 26. But look at the age that Sandro Wagner ended up making the national team.
Yeah, and he got a move to Bayern as well.
Exactly.
And he scored
So
goals for both club and country.
yeah, but he just couldn't start over Lewandowski. That was the only problem.
No,
What I thought
nobody starts over Lewandowski.
what I thought Bayern could have done or should have done was try to make it Muller in behind the two of them and play with a back three and make Sebastian Roddy play alongside somebody in that midfield. But of course, Roddy had his injury problems. I think you guys had Arturo Vidal at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, but of course, Roddy couldn't stay fit for saving life.
And Xavi Martinez was still a starter.
Exactly. So I thought Bayern would have tried to make a strike partnership.
Nah, we don't do strike partnerships.
But you guys
And
use
if
him
we're
as
going to do a strike partnership, it was going to be Lewandowski and Muller.
Muller. But I thought you'd have dropped Muller into that number 10 role and make Wagner play alongside Lewandowski.
You see, like Muller does in a great conundrum, you know. Where do you play him?
Yeah, he can play all four attacking roles.
I think every manager just put him in an attacking slot and just tell him to
Yes, because remember earlier in his Bayern career, he was a Rambuter, a wide target man.
He's a Rambuter.
And then I know for the most part he plays as a number 10.
Yeah, now he's more of a number 10 than you're more traditional number 10 than how he was back in the past.
Exactly.
I think that's about it in terms of managerial transfers.
All right, so I just want to run through the. Oh, how long have we been recording? But right.
I think we're about hit an hour.
All right, so we're gonna end this on a restart. We have another hour stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for the. Well, you sure there's no other managerial news or transfers you want to talk about? Because the next episode is just basically the international.
Like there are some transfers, but no one like.
We'll get into a transfer thing next week. So that's it for.
I'll just like some important ones like.
All right.
That are close to being concluded, but Wijnaldum, Depay are going to Barca.
Everybody know that.
Even though PSG is trying to hijack them. Yeah, PSG is trying to hijack that one. Other than that, wait, I'm trying to bring it up. So you have some Marseille update.
Yeah, Taliban's supposed to leave.
Gerson deal is done.
Yeah, 30 million.
When Doozy is in advanced talks. Buenos Aires, Bayern and Marseille is in talks for a loan move.
Who?
Buenos Aires.
Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
Buenos Aires.
Yeah, B-O-U-B-O-N-E.
Buenos Aires.
Yeah, Buenos. Yes, that's my pronunciation name, right?
You talk about the right winger from Bayern, right?
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
Yeah, he was
like Marseille talked with a loan.
Yeah, you bought him from us. I don't know why. You already had Pavard. I didn't see why you bought him by the first place. He was alright,
man. Atletico wants to generate some money. Niguez, Lemar, Trippier, Morata is on the transfer market.
He said Niguez, Trippier,
Lemar, and Morata are on the transfer.
Morata?
List. Yeah.
Morata?
Morata was a loan to Juventus.
No, but he's going to be at Juventus. Come on, man, stop. I'm not going to Juventus next year.
Leicester is leading the race for Soumare.
Leicester is leading the race for who?
For Soumare.
Soumare?
Or Soumare. Soumare.
Please, text it to me or something. Or type it.
You're terrible at the pronunciation. Yes, yes, I know.
So text it to me.
Atletico wants to buy Harit from Schalke.
Harit, yeah.
Yeah. Bernardo Silva is getting a new contract.
Who's the guy Leicester is
Um,
interested in?
repeat.
I'm trying to find it.
Oh, Soumere
SOU.
MERE.
Oh, Bakary Sumare.
Yeah,
So from Lille.
Leicester wants to pick him up.
So that means that indeed you're going to start now?
Good question.
Because you're going to sell somebody. You can't have Bakary Sumare, Chowdhury, Indeed, and Yuri Tillmans. And you're not sell Tillmans so easy. So unless you're going to sell somebody, and then you have Napolis Mendy still there. So, whoa. All right, well, somebody going to get sold. One out of those guys have to get sold. Either Chowdhury, which I don't think they're going to sell Chowdhury. He's English and he's their academic grad. I don't know if I doubt them selling Tillmans or Indeed. So I guess Napolis Mendy for bonus are for Bakary Sumari. That's the only sensible thing I've seen this move. All right, any other ones?
That's about it. The other one is like Chelsea sounding out Sancho, while they're sounding out Sancho and Haaland. United is sounding with Sancho as well,
All right, what for up with
um,
that, man?
that's it. Nothing major yet.
All right, well, that's it for this episode. Next episode will be mostly international, going into international football. I just wanted to mention my team, myself, my African team did not make it to the African Champions League. They made it to Africa's
Bro.
version of the Europa League. Uh, all they needed to do was win the last two games, which they did, but they should have won the last three, I should say. They drew one. They
Mhm.
drew one and won the last two. Sorry, they drew the last one and win one. So they drew this morning, and today's the end of the league. Today's the last day of the league.
Yeah.
So that's it. Well, we'll see everybody next time.